And then, yeah, if it comes down to figuring out what kind of grill they want, what product or whatever they're cooking, we just kind of ask them. We get that common question all the time. What's your number one rub or your number one whatever? There's a lot of good products up here. What are you kind of cooking? What's your flavor profile? And always joke, you can close your eyes, throw a dart, and it's all good. It's just maybe you don't like spicy stuff. Maybe you want sweet. Maybe you want some salty savoriness or a little umami. But that's our thing. We're just here to help out, kind of take you through that whole path, things that we've learned and we continue to learn, and just pass it on. Where again, like Dad said, you're not going to get that from your.
Customer service is
Yeah.
the primary focus, and I've mentioned this to Devin. He believes this. We believe it. Becky does, my wife, and everyone that works with us. Customer service is key and paramount in everything we do. It has to be. It has to be. In the end, I don't have an opinion that matters about what they buy or what they're able to buy or what they're looking for. I want them to be happy when they leave, right? I just don't. I could put them in a grill. I could cut that conversation in 10 minutes. Boom, got you a grill, send you on the way. I don't want to do that. I truly want them to be happy. And we've talked people out of some grills into other grills or some products into other products, but I think it builds a trust too. And that goes with it. So
Listen, learn, get inspired. I'm Tavis Bryant, and this is Barbecue Therapy. Like, subscribe, and follow to help grow the barbecue therapy community. Also, visit my website at www.barbecuetherapypodcast.com.
We're gonna have barbecue, your barbecue on. Get your barbecue on. Get your barbecue on.
Welcome to the Barbecue Therapy Podcast. My name is Tavis Bryant, and most people get into barbecue and it becomes something they enjoy, but for some, it becomes something they chase, and for a few, it becomes something they build. Today's conversation is about what happens when barbecue evolves, from cooking to competing to teaching to building something that impacts others. Greg Hasty, former pitmaster of Tebow Creek Barbecue, owner of American Fire and Grilling Supply in Lee's Summit, a place that's become more than a store, it's a learning ground. And Devin Holt, pitmaster of Fluffy Butt Barbecue, coming up in competition, building his own identity in the same space. And somewhere along the way, y'all made a move that changed everything, acquiring the legendary Kansas City barbecue store. So today, this isn't about barbecue, it's about evolution. Greg, Devin, welcome to Barbecue Therapy. I got one rule: make yourself at home and speak freely.
yeah, very cool. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Pleasure's all mine. I appreciate your time. All right, let's start with Greg. Before the competing side of barbecue, where were you born and how did you find your way to barbecue?
Well, I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, back in 1967. A long time ago. But so been in Kansas City my whole life, and kind of getting a start in barbecue. As a very young man at 20 something, I had a smoker, and like everybody, wanted to maybe burn some meat and do something in the backyard. And my dad always grilled, and we always ate, and he always liked to cook on the deck, and wasn't a big part. It was just something we did. If you were outside hanging around and we weren't working, we were eating. So never really a big following until, or never really a big emphasis on anything smoking until I really found competition, to be honest with you.
Okay. And Devin, did you grow up, did you pay attention to him while he was grilling growing up, or you just never paid no attention to it?
I paid a little bit of attention. I mean, it was mainly grilling, like Dad was saying, and didn't get really into for me, I didn't get into the smoking aspect until really when we started American Fire as well. Dad had already been smoking and grill or competing since 2014 by then, and we opened in 21, so 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then so learned it from him, and then learned it from a bunch of others, and started competing in 22.
Okay.
Really getting into it then.
All right. And first of all, let me ask the name, the Fluffy Butt Barbecue. Where did that go?
Yeah. So there was a debate when I told my wife I was going to do competition barbecue. She kind of rolled her eyes at me, wasn't for it at the beginning till she started tasting some of the food down the road. But yeah, we've got a miniature schnauzer. He's about 25, 27 pounds. And during the winter time, he gets real fluffy. So we nickname him Bubba. And they were thinking Bubba's Butt Barbecue, but there's a lot of Bubba type of barbecue out there. And so I nicknamed him Fluffy Butt just because of what he looked like. And the name stuck, and I thought it was funny. I figured if my name ever got called, people would giggle, and it worked.
So when your dad competed, did you ever go out with him before you started your own team, or did you just go out and start your
No,
own?
I went out. I did. Yeah, I went out maybe a handful. We did 2019 a couple. Wife came out with me to American Royal. That was her first tasting. She did dessert for dad, and she ended up getting a perfect with, if I'm correct, second place overall out there. And first time around, yeah. First time going, she had a cheesecake she did, and it worked out. And so that was probably a little taste there in 2020 with COVID. I kind of went out a little bit more, took my first class in end of 19. So after the Royal, right after the Royal at Red Dirt, or not Red Dirt, Dirt Road Barbecue. And then I took a Tuffy Stone class with dad back in 2020, right before COVID started. And that was kind of my introduction to it all. Still didn't really know what I was learning, what I was doing, but I kind of wanted to see what it was all about, and it was different. It's definitely gotten more and more competitive over the years.
Oh, so Greg, how did it feel when you found out he was going to start competing on his own?
Oh, it's right. Oh, no, it's really cool. And, you know, like I said, or what I was trying to say before was, it was kind of fun when we started the store. You know, we had been competing a lot, and he was in learning mode. He was really learning everything about the store and learning about what we do and all the conversations we have with everybody that come in the store. We just got talking. I'm like, hey, we need to give you a chicken run. We'll give you a rib run. And we have a good friend, Ryan came, Damn Fine Beef and Swine. Was a great cook. I was kind of just destroying the backyard, you know, his first year, and he was starting his second year, and the American Royal backyard competition was coming up, and we were sitting in the store one day and we were talking. I said, Devin, you need to go out there and cook. We'll teach you ribs and chicken. You need to go out there and cook the Royal, and you need to take it on to poor Ryan Kane and show him how it's done. So we kind of got it together, and we started teaching him a little bit. He went home, you know, practiced on his own, and actually did very well at his first backyard Royal. Won chicken, and
Yeah,
I can't remember how he finished, but
I finished
it
fifth
was at fifth
overall.
overall. Yeah,
If I'm correct, I think Ryan was fourth.
right.
Got me by like a point
Yeah.
right there. So yeah.
So it
Yep.
just kind of
Yep.
set the hook, right? Him and, you know, Rosie doing the dessert the year before and getting that second place at the Royal and getting on the stage, her first time ever being out there. I'm sure she thought, oh, this is easy. And actually sitting on the stage, I think it kind of set the hook for him. And he's like, well, let's see how far I can take this. So he went off and running and kind of tried to make, you know, was making his own way.
Yeah.
And for those that ain't seen that dessert area be a spectacle at the American Royal.
Oh,
I was like,
Right.
what?
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's nuts, but you don't have to do, you don't, you know, and I think a lot of
No.
people learn you don't have to do crazy. You don't have to make it a spectacle. You just have to do good, right? Rosie's very, you know, very nice dessert, and it's well put together, but it's not some big extravagant thing. It's just a nice plate and a nice platter, and do it right, and you'll get the score. And I think she's done it 4 times maybe, and I think 3 of them have been perfects. You know,
Yeah.
she keeps losing the damn coin flip. I think one of these times she'll win it, but who knows? So.
Yeah, the coin flip is something else.
Yep,
People be losing grand championships over a coin flip. All right, let's take it back to Tebow Creek when you started with your wife. When y'all set out to it, what was the original goal? Was it just trying it out just for a hobby, or were you going out there to just try to crush people?
No, you know, it was always a hobby. It was always something. It started with my wife and a friend of mine, Kevin, that we had kind of done barbecue. He invited me out to. They had been doing the Royal for years with their corporation, their company, and they'd feed 950 people. And long about 2013, 14, they would do a big event at the Royal and feed a bunch of customer appreciation party, feed a bunch of people. And I went out with them and got to hang around the Royal. 2014, I turned the Royal into my own week, right? I went and took a judging class on Wednesday. I had won a seat at the Hog with a Heart, which was an old charity barbecue class that you could win a raffle. And I won a seat with Hog with a Heart, the OBR, the Operation Barbecue Relief people put on this class at the Royal. So I got to go sit with, Brad Orson and Boar's Night Out crew and Mark Lambert at Sweet Swine of Mine, and they were the OBR reps at the OBR the Porkapalooza party that they had at the Royal in 14. And I got to take this all-day class learning ribs and brisket and chicken from all these guys, natural born grillers as well, John Wheeler. So I got to meet a lot of people on that day. Thursday night, I played in the poker. I played in the charity poker tournament, which was Fast Eddie Cook Shack, trying to win a $20,000 smoker. I just literally poured my entire week, five days into that event to get immersed in it. And man, I just fell in love. I went, this is what we need to be doing. So Kevin and I and my wife kind of put together a little team, and we started to do a few, and I went down the path of taking a couple classes in 15 and took a couple classes. And one of those days I just pulled the Band-Aid off and said, screw it, I'm done waiting. I'm just going to go sign up. So they jumped us into competition and we just went ahead. And the horror story of it all is that I say horror story is that we RGC'd our very first official KCBS contest out of the gate in Grandview in May of 2015. And that kind of ruined everything for us because, you talk about setting a hook,
So when did reality set in after that?
Yeah, very quickly. Very, very, the next contest, the reality set in. So, yeah. Anyway, but that's it. That's where it started. And it was a lot of good times, a lot of good things that come from that. A lot of great friends that we met along the way. So,
Okay. So what was the hardest thing to adjust to? Was it the judging, the timing, consistency?
yeah, I think it's all that. I mean, I think I had taken a couple classes before I started, and man, I didn't know it then, but truly understand the advice now that it really cuts the learning curve. So take a class, learn from the best people that have it doesn't mean copy everything they're doing, and you learn quickly. You're not really in a class for recipes. You're in a class for everything else, but all the recipes are all pretty good. Everybody makes pretty good food. It's really about the process and learning how to get through it. So, the real awakening was the 2 hours during turn-ins, right? That half hour you get in each meet and everything that can go wrong at any given time, and how do you fix it and how do you prepare for it? God help you, the weather, you lose power. I cooked on pellet cookers initially. I went out with a plan. I went out and I cooked on batteries and inverted batteries, so I never had to worry about power for my cookers necessarily, but power for everything. So weather changing, it's just having too much fun on Friday night and not wanting to get up Saturday morning is another one. So yeah.
All right, Devin, what about you? What was the hardest thing for you to adjust to as far as cooking?
I think really just figuring out the timing. That first season, I had probably from January until the Backyard Royal, which was March, I think I practiced every single weekend, chicken and ribs. So I was fortunate enough at that point to be able to cook 2 meats and learn those. And I had taken a couple classes. Like I said, I didn't know what I was really learning. So then as I was practicing, getting tips from Dad and the stuff that he's learned from all the people that he's acquired knowledge from, as well as Joe with slaps every now and then would give me a little tip here or there on it. And then I just kept practicing. So figuring that timeline out, and then really consistency, trying to make it as consistent as possible as I could do as well. And I would say that's probably the hardest part of it all, just getting that timing down and knowing exactly and trying to replicate everything every single week. And I did not start on pellets, so I didn't have to worry about power really, but I was 2 drums and a 10 by 10. And that's what I do now on the master side. I do 3 drums and a 10 by 10. So it's, I guess the other part of it would be fighting the weather, figuring out those things you don't really get to learn in a class, just by experience. And so going from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start in the backyard when I get started. I haven't started yet, but I've taken the classes, so I'm not worried about. It's just the timing. I'm gonna have to work on that. I've taken Myron Mixon, Robbie Royal, Joe Pierce, Luke Darnell, and Chris Schaefer's class. So the process is pretty much the same, pretty much for everybody, but a little ingredient here and there. But it's just I mean, it's just coming down and the timing and stuff like that, not having it done too early or too late or whatever. I think I'm gonna
Right.
have to get used to it. But once I get the hang of it, the process, I'm good with repetition. So it's
Exactly.
just coming about doing the
I mean,
same
it is
thing.
reps, definitely reps. And I was in the same boat as you. I think, yeah, when we started, when we started the school, my wife was pregnant with our first. She was born in September, and we opened in May. So then January 22, I had a 3-4 month old at that time, and telling her I was going to do some competitions. That was kind of the eye roll that I got. But as soon as I get that first name call, and then you go out a few times, you have some good success. She kind of was like, "Hey, we need T-shirts. Maybe we need that," and then buying T-shirts for the kid, for little toddler shirts, or I guess newborn, or 6 months to 9 months, and now next thing you know, we're in 2026, 4 years later, and we've got our second one. Same thing, type of a deal. So she's a little over 6 months old, and now we're trying to get shirts for her. But it ends up becoming a kind of a family thing in an essence, and that's what's pretty big and pretty cool about just the community in general. I would say that's more of a surprise thing in general for me, not really a hard or difficult thing, but it was just knowing those few times I went out with Dad, and he's like, "Oh, I use this for, a finishing dust, or I use this for that." I'm like, "Why are you telling them your secrets?" Like, but you end up realizing there's other parts and components to it. And then you're actually really all just a big old family anyway. You're all trying to be
Yeah.
successful together and help each other out. So that's a pretty cool thing you see within the community beyond the competition level. That
Yeah.
That was really
a
one
lot
of
of
the
time you
cool.
just see the snapshots.
That was really one of the coolest things. One of the first years I was out, we met. I met Joe Pierce, become a mentor and a friend, but we met Burnt Finger, Jason and Megan Day. And one of the first years we were out was the first year Hank was born, their son. And I saw Megan, they had this little black trailer, and I was like, "Man, who are these people?" And Joe or Dirt Road and those people would say, "Oh, that's, Burnt Finger, that's Jason and Megan. They're great cooks." And they got this brand new baby laying on a blanket out on a parking lot while they're cooking, and they're traveling with a baby. I kid you not. And I was just like, wow, because Devin was older. We had empty nested by then. He had been to college and all that. So I see these younger people out there with these babies, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing. And then just a couple years later, if you ever get a chance, if you haven't, is Aaron and Christy from Man Meat Barbecue. They have been traveling, and we have been very good friends, and they are 100% like family to us. And we've been traveling with them since before 2017. And Reagan was 18 months old, or whatever. And then Renly come along later, who's 4 years old now, and they have been traveling, doing 35 weeks a year with two babies in a trailer. So I look at it, and that is pure insanity. It's dedication, but it's really the family running every single weekend, and sticking to what they are. They are family, and they're together every weekend, and no one's chasing each other around. They're together, and they're in it, and it's really it's a beautiful thing, really, to be honest with you. Be around it and watch them and grow up with these kids. It's really pretty cool. So
Yeah, I try to take mine around when I go walk around
yeah.
competitions. I'm not gonna jump in there yet because now I got the podcast and that's something else to do.
Yep.
Emmy comes out, she's running around with Reagan when she's out there the handful of times. And Joe had his daughter out this past weekend at Osage City, and she's running around. And when you see all the other kids that are out there every single weekend, it's a big surprise. It's not kind of what it was maybe, and I don't know what it was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but I don't know if it was that way or not. But it's really pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's definitely a good atmosphere because I haven't started competing yet, and I've been welcomed in so many trailers
Right.
and made so many friends. That's what drew me in. It wasn't competition, it wasn't trophies, it was just the friendliness. In 2023, Memphis in May, met Mark Bayless from Blues Hog, and he just pulled me and my wife out the crowd, talking to us, let me try the championship ring for 2022, and let me come up and hear them do the presentation to the judges and everything. And after that, I was hooked. And my wife, that showed her the atmosphere, how good it was, and I mean, she support what I do now, so I love it.
Bayless, good people. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, I call him my barbecue dad. I look for him every time I go somewhere.
I'm gonna call him my dad too. I'm pretty sure he's older than me. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Like, I don't know, he probably because I'm 50, so I know he got to be a few years older than me, and not too much. But I was like, he the one that welcomed me in and introduced me so many people, and
Yeah.
it just went on from there.
Yeah.
So it's like a big family. Let's talk about American Fire. How did that come about? Did you take over it from somebody, or did you start it from scratch? What gave you the idea to start American
No,
Fire?
we started a store from scratch. This is our deal. I tell you, we needed something, a professional type store on the Missouri side. We live in Kansas City, Missouri. We had a couple great stores on the Kansas side. Coming through 17, 18, 19, I was sponsored by a store over on the Kansas City side that's no longer really there. And I spent a lot of time over there and loved being a part of it. But I just really felt like we needed something on the Missouri side. I was tired of driving to Kansas constantly and a half hour away. And I think I know COVID, I always wanted to be in business. I always wanted to own my own business. And, I worked 2 jobs in 27 years. And I think COVID kicked me over the edge. I really do. I tell this story a bunch of times. There's an old Steve Harvey deal. If you ever look it up, it's called Taking the Leap or something like that. And it's him talking at a Family Feud taping. And he's just talking to the audience. It's off really camera. It's not something that was supposed to be filmed. It's just film. And he was talking to the audience about getting to that edge, getting to the cliff, and being able to take a leap, take that jump. And it's 7 minutes of stuff that I had seen long before 2020. But I think 2020, my dad almost dying, COVID in general, just as bad as all that sucked. I think it put me at at 53 then, it said, I think I told myself, you either do this now or you ain't got to do this. Good friend man meet. Aaron and I were talking every single day during COVID for no reason other than just bored, and we're on the phone talking. And he goes, you and Devin were going to go do that restaurant coming out of 2019. And Devin and I were. That's what our plans were. That's what we were working on. Whether we did a food truck, or actually got into the restaurant, we were actually planning on a restaurant. And when COVID hit, I'm like, well, Devin, we're not doing that. And Aaron from Meat really had said, why don't you skip the restaurant, go straight to the store? You were going to do it anyway. Go straight to the store. Go do the big store. So he gave me a lot of advice. I started the planning, and I tell you what, it wasn't June 2020. We found the space. October 2020 had the contract signed. December 20, we were tearing it down and building our store. So really kind of a combination of a lifelong dream of doing something, not in barbecue or retail, but the timing being what it was, just forcing myself off that cliff, take that chance.
So when you came up with the store, how did y'all game plan it as far as what did y'all want it to feel like versus other stores out there to make it different?
Well, I think modeled after the Kansas City barbecue store, the old days, we understand that these stores are no longer competition barbecue stores. They're not based on people from competition. The community is 95% of all of our customers, the people around us, the backyard, people that are cooking for their families and doing all that stuff. So we wanted to make it the most professional one-stop shop store. We have meat, better cuts than you can get at the grocery store. We have great independent rubs and sauces, marinades, glazes, injections, all the things, right? We don't have to do a bunch of accessories, but we do them. We do good ones, or what we think are good ones. Everybody buys that stuff on Amazon, right? But we want to be the store that you can walk in and get what you need today when you need it, not have to wait for Amazon. So that's how we really built our store. From the from the perspective of appliances and grills, we truly are trying to find what we consider good, better, and best. That's our mission, right? That's our the way we want to promote our business is good, better, best. We don't want to just have this grill or that name or that name. We want the best grills in the categories by the best manufacturers that support their grills. Those are the ones we want, and those are the ones we carry. We don't chase gimmicks or those crazy grills that are in the big box. We don't need them. We don't want them. And honest to God, they end up being nightmares for most people. So we just don't want that nightmare.
So when someone walks in the store, what's y'all goal for the person that walks in?
Well, and Devin, you can jump in and tell me if I'm wrong in this, but our goal is to really, I'm an old business analyst and an IT guy, right? I ask a lot of questions. When someone comes in, sometimes they know what they want or they think they know what they want, right? We'll get people come in the store sometimes saying, well, my friend's got a pellet grill. I need a new pellet grill. Show me a good pellet grill. And I actually will stop and say, okay, well, I could just sell him a pellet grill, right? But I don't. What I really want to do is ask the question, all right, what kind of grilling do you do today? What have you done in the past? What do you enjoy? Or are you new to this whole thing? Are you wanting to smoke? Are you wanting to do barbecue? Or are you wanting to grill, right? Nope. I never do. I'd never cook in a pork butter or brisket. I just want to grill some burgers and some steaks and some chicken and some salmon. Well, then you may not want a pellet grill. We need to go through why or what kind of grill you really would want, right? So when someone comes in, when it's about grills, I'm asking questions to get a feel for what they want, right? I think we've become well known for coming in and saying, man, I want to cook a pork butt. How do I do it? Give me a hand. And then we give little lessons. We walk down the line of rubs and sauces and glazes, and we give them the whole process, the whole run. And they thank us for that, being able to give the time. I think that makes us different than Dylan at the big box, right? Dylan's not going to help you. He doesn't know what he's doing. And we're trying to be bigger and better than that.
Yeah. And to be honest, a lot of people, like the average person, doesn't know about injections or glazes or anything like that. So if they look in the grocery store and they're just looking at something, they don't know what it is.
And that's where we hope we can guide them, right? And a lot of times when I ask them, hey, are you going to inject this? Do you want to inject? Well, should I? Yeah, you should. But okay, what am I going to inject it with? Well, we could give them a big recipe or they could look it up, but there's so many people make a great injection. Just add water. We can buy this, right? Or we can help them with their questions about how to inject or why would I inject the turkey and what are some of these things. And it just, I think being professionals in this space, that's the value that I think we provide that you can't get anywhere else. I think it sets us apart, which was really the question, right? Why are we different?
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty big on hospitality here too. So it's just coming to a welcoming environment as well. So anytime someone comes in, we're always asking, welcome here. How'd you find us? What are you hunting for? What are you looking for? We can either point it out or suggestions or whatnot. And then, if it comes down to figuring out what kind of grill they want, what product or whatever they're cooking, we just kind of ask them. We get that common question all the time. What's your number one rub or your number one whatever? There's a lot of good products up here. What are you kind of cooking? What's your flavor profile? And always joke, you can close your eyes, throw a dart, and it's all good. It's just maybe you don't like spicy stuff. Maybe you want sweet. Maybe you want some salty savoriness or a little umami. But that's our thing. We're just here to help out, kind of take you through that whole path, things that we've learned and we continue to learn, and just pass it on. Where again, like that said, you're not going to get that from your stores that'll sell you shoes and nuts and bolts too. At the same time, they're selling your rubs and sauces.
Mm-hmm.
So
customer service is the primary focus. And I've mentioned this to Devin. He believes this. We believe it. Becky does, my wife, and everyone that works with us. Customer service is key and paramount in everything we do. It has to be. It has to be.
And customer service is probably the number one thing, because there's numerous times you go in the store and you looking at the shelf and just looking there and nobody comes over and say, hey, can I help you? Or what are you looking for? You just sitting there and then you get frustrated and leave.
Oh
And
yeah.
it happens so many times at so many stores.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Nobody take the time, or you don't teach your employees customer service or anything like that. This is the person that keeps this store running by repeat customers. It's easier to keep a customer than get a new one. So building that relationship and stuff, it means a lot. And I like what y'all saying as far as coming in and asking questions enough to find out what they're looking for, but not harassing them, but just, hey,
Well,
keep
it's
checking
key,
with them from
right?
time to
Because
time.
I in the end, I don't have an opinion that matters about what they buy or what they're able to buy or what they're looking for. I want them to be happy when they leave, right? I just don't. I can put them in a grill. I can cut that conversation in 10 minutes. Boom, got you a grill. Send you on the way. I don't want to do that. I truly want them to be happy. And we've talked people out of some grills into other grills or some products into other products, but I think it builds a trust too, and that goes with it. So
Yeah, there's different levels to every product. You can't come in a beginner and think you want to outlaw smoker and stuff like that, and you never you work your way up. So
We'll teach you how to cook on them.
We'll
definitely teach
tell
you how to cook on it. If that's where you want to start, we'll help you out there. But then we're also there just to teach too. So it's one of those things where, all right, if you're dead set on that, or we know that's a good fit for you, take the knowledge we know and go with it, and then keep learning. We're always learning. You can keep adding a little knowledge to yourself.
Exactly. So let's talk about the Kansas City barbecue store. How did that come about? Did they reach out to y'all, or did you reach out to them as far as that?
No, actually, we were ready to scale, or feeling like we were ready to scale, and we had been thinking about it. I had been running around after an Achilles surgery. My wife and I were driving around looking for space to move to a different part of the city, and for our business, retail's tough. It's a tough business to be in. For us to make a difference, we needed it to scale, or wanted to scale. I had been connected. I started my cooking career with the Kansas City barbecue store. Dan Hathaway running that store out there way back in 2013. I think the first grill Devin and Becky bought me, my Traeger, was in 2013, came from the Kansas City barbecue store. I worked for the city of Olathe, Kansas, where the store is, for 15 years. So I knew of the store. I was out there, but they've always been the OG, right? This year we'll celebrate 20 years in that store, which is amazing. And it's the legendary store in Kansas City. I was actually in Memphis taking a whole hog class with four great world champions down in Memphis, and someone was telling me, hey, I think something's going on in the Kansas City store. They might be a little frustrated. Joe's Kansas City owned that store, and they're in the restaurant business. They are way deep in the restaurant business, and I'm not sure that the store had really kind of been much of their focus anymore. Like, they were there, they were doing a good job, they were doing fine. But when I thought that maybe the organization itself may not be so much interested in the store, before us building store number 2 and moving on, I thought it might be worth a conversation. So I reached out to David McAllister and Joe Pearson, some friends that were connected with Jeff Staney, and said, can you get me a phone number? Can you get me a phone call so that I can talk to them? I want to see where they're at. And almost immediately, the VP was in the store, met Devin and I, saw our store, and he was like, I think this is a good idea. I think they'll want to do this. So it really was very simple. Jeff and Joy are great people. Ryan Burrows is a great guy that runs their organization for them. And they made it very easy. Something that could be a complicated, difficult thing. They made it very easy to acquire the store, and then take it and continue that legacy. I think that, for me, while it was not something they required, was important to me. The Kansas City barbecue store is a legacy. It has a name. It has a brand that's been built for 20 years. And talking to Beck and Devin, I was like, man, do we if we're really going to do this, this might be the better move here. That was difficult. It took a bit of time, not because of us or them, but just banks in general and the nature of things. But we're happy to have it, and I hope people are happy we've got it now. And we're trying to bring life. It never died. That's the wrong way to say it, but we're just trying to uplift it again and bring more to it, and more enthusiasm back to it than was there maybe the last couple of years. So I think we're doing that. We just finished our first 2 classes out there. We're doing classes there again, and
Yeah.
I think it's going good. Don't you, Devin? It's slow. It's a process.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, it's been great. We definitely, stoked the fire over here a little bit, no pun intended there, but yeah, kind of got it back up, a little bit back to life. It wasn't dying, nothing like that, but getting those grills and getting things in here, getting some more excitement in here, getting the classes that I think people have probably asked for years and years. And then some new things they just haven't done, just getting into outdoor kitchens. That's a big thing. That's been pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that'll be part of, the vision for the future in general, with both stores as well, is really getting into that outdoor kitchen business.
So did y'all have to change a lot at the Kansas City barbecue store to make it sort of like the one, the American Fire?
Yeah, we
or
did.
Y'all didn't
Done
have to
some
change
remodeling
much?
and things. Yeah, we've done some remodeling and brought in different brands that I think people have been asking for a while in Kansas City, like the Yoder Smokers, but bringing those in here, giving them more variety, and in our opinion, probably variety of just better quality products than previous years, I would say, on that end of it. And then kind of reorganizing how the store layout is too,
Yeah.
giving it a better feel.
The store was
So
it's a big store. It was a big
yeah,
store. The
it's
store
much
was a
bigger than
lot
I
of
was.
rub and sauce, and when you walked in, it was grocery, right? It was rub and sauce and all the things. And we
Yeah,
took that and we pushed it against the wall like our store. And it's all important stuff, but man, it's about grills and cooking and appliance. We did get meat, the cab, the certified Angus beef that we
yeah,
carry, and the Prairie Fresh pork and the Snake River Farms Wagyu. We got that in there, and but like Devin said, it's about the different grills. Well, we got Yoder, we got Rectech, we got Smoking Brothers, we got Gateway Drum. We've got all the gas grills, from the best American made Twin Eagle grills, Dometic, Holmes, Twin Eagles, Delta Heat, Alfresco's phenomenal American made grills, then Napoleon grills and Primo ceramic grills. We literally brought the assortment and said, we are a grill store. We are a barbecue store, and we want to be that. So we're we're bringing that enthusiasm back to Kansas in that store. And I think Devin's been out there the most, but I think people are starting to see it and they're liking it. And Devin mentioned outdoor kitchens are a big thing. That's what I spend a lot of my time doing right now, is designing and working on one today, and one last week. And man, if we can get that going out in Johnson County with the great products we sell there with the grills, it's fun. It's a game changer for sure for us.
Yeah. And how do y'all go about as far as is just y'all three? Have y'all hired anybody else?
So
or
it's me,
y'all
Beck,
still
and Devin. Becky's here full time
family-wise?
now
Yep.
again. It was me and Devin mostly, and a couple part-time folks, some barbecue friends that have come on and always helped us on the weekend and stuff. When we took the store and bought it, there's a couple guys that have been there a very long time. We're working with them. Jimmy and Kai are fantastic. Kai's been there 15 years with that Joe's organization. Jimmy's been around 4 or 5 years, I believe,
5 years
5
now.
years now, and they have been fully on board with us because they were so enthused, so excited about us coming and taking this and becoming, what they say, their words, a grill store again, a barbecue store again, right? Because it had kind of lost its way there for a little bit in terms of the enthusiasm in terms of the excitement about the store and building on it. So it had just kind of gone to sleep a little bit. So they're excited about that. They're working with us, and that's been the transition for us, is really trying to help them understand what we need from them. Right. We had a great guy over here for a 6-month period that we hired, David Lillis, from another barbecue place, and he was a great help with us over at Lee Summit. But he needed to take another job, another opportunity over Thanksgiving. So we're looking. We need to find a good professional person, at least one or two, so that I can get outside and build the business. I'm today stuck where I need to get out of here and go build the business and work on it. So Devin's knee deep in what you don't know is what you may not know is we have an e-commerce business as well. We bought 2 businesses, the e-commerce and the store. So Devin has spent the last 6 months hard working on operations, the website, the e-commerce, the shipping, all the nasty stuff that goes with that, and working with my nephew. I almost forgot about him. Jesus. My nephew works in the warehouse and runs the whole warehouse and all the grills and all the shipping and the transfers to the store. Sorry, Matt. I forgot about you, bud. But I don't forget about him because he is literally key, integral, because once we got him going and Devin got him rolling, we've been able to just step out, and we know Matt's got our back and Jimmy and Kai got our back with the store. So we got great people. We're doing good. We need to add to the team, and we're going to do that. But we're knee deep in it right now. Our season's going, so we're ready to get started. So
Yeah. And the sad thing about where I'm at, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. We have no stores like y'all. Not at all. I mean, they have an Ace Hardware, but the aisle is only so big, and it just don't have an expert in there. And they have the Atlanta barbecue store, but it's not an actual store. It's just only online. No knock to them, but I like just going in there and just walk around and see different stuff.
And man,
but we don't have that
honesty,
out here.
It's a hard business. I mean, it really is. Retail, and we're very niche though, right? People still want to touch grills, talk to people, see stuff. So it works. But man, it is hard because everything is so online oriented, right? So e-commerce oriented. Ellen and Brian Jarvis, at the Atlanta barbecue store, they're great. They're great. That's a great e-commerce business. And hell, look out! I didn't know there wasn't a store in Atlanta. Maybe we need to open one down there, Devin.
Right?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing. Just Ace Hardware and Academy Sports have some, but most
them
of
are the
it,
ones we're telling
I have to order online.
Go to. You need something, Tavis. You holler at us. We'll get it down.
All right, let's switch. Definitely. Now I know. So let's talk about y'all content and the teaching and the classes and stuff like that. How did that idea come about as far as the classes? Because y'all do it different from everybody else's. Because like the video you just posted about the 3 things as far as a new griller and different. I saw you on a video doing a competition trim on a thigh and stuff like that. How did y'all come up with those ideas? Because it's so different from other places.
No,
a lot of
and
places don't do
wish
that.
we had
If
more
you look
time
on
to
social
do
media,
more. I want to do more. We have a lot. Devin comes up with really funny ideas sometime, and I'm like, listen, you need to write that down so we remember how we need to do this, because that would be funny and that would be cool to do. But no, we have a great marketing guy, Ahmed, that we work with in Digital Orbit, and he comes up and comes up with all kinds of ideas and says, hey, let's shoot this, and really focusing on keeping a natural, raw aspect to the videos, right? Not an overproduced thing. And he goes, I just want you guys to be the authority and talk and do what you do. So that's taken a little bit, but that's his direction to me and Devin, is to just be you and be who you are in the store, right? We're trying to be that authority, and we're those experts, so we don't need to do a bunch of fancy stuff. I want to do more long form. I want to do some more trimming and some more instructional stuff that way. I think we have a lot of ideas for some, for lack of a better word, blog or vlog. I talk myself hoarse in the store. So does Devin. When we get asked, I'm going to do a pork butt and I keep screwing it up. How do I get this right? And, I think I want to do some I say intro, but basically they're not intro recipes, just basic runs of a pork butt, of a brisket, and how to do this and how to do that. And get those in short videos and kind of a written out instruction, because the truth, I have that half-hour conversation, Tavis, every day in the store. And I need to not do that. I need to spend more time working, but I get so I'll be honest with you, I enjoy standing out in the store to my own detriment and talking and teaching and doing that stuff. So to me, it comes natural. I coached kids for 13 years. I coached before Devin, and then brought Devin all the way through into high school, and then coached some kids after Devin. And so I think in me, I had great coaches as kids. My parents were great coaches and teachers. I think I've always had great mentors that did that for me. So I think it's in me now, and I love doing it. I love teaching it. So if that shows on the videos, then it's working. We're doing what we hope, but it's not. It's not really thought of in that way. It was just, hey, let's go do this, and it just comes out, and hopefully it's natural. It should be. I think it is. So
Yeah, I mean it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I enjoy them. I see them, and I was like, it's informative. It's
Right.
doing stuff that other stores don't do, and teaching
Right.
people stuff that
Right.
a lot of people don't teach. I mean, and what I suggested to some people, like, there's competition barbecue,
Yeah.
but there's regular meats that people also need to learn how to cook, like maybe a pork chop or a steak and stuff like that. That a lot of people don't
Right.
know how to properly cook. Y'all
Yep.
be having these the classes and stuff like that. And you could do, I mean, like y'all do once for a brisket class, or y'all do a chicken class, and it's affordable that someone can go learn one meat.
Right.
If they can't afford to go do a whole comp class, they can go learn one meat at their own pace, or if something they need to work on. Y'all giving them an opportunity, as well as inviting competition teams out there to teach them, as well as y'all teaching them.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
a
man,
good
we want to
variety
do more.
for
It's
the
just
people that
hard.
comes there.
Like you mentioned it before, it's me and Devin and Beck, and I can get Brad and Bree from Smoking Magic, and Meat Rushmore's come done a demo, and the JDQ guys did a class this weekend for their backyard comp. But like we tell our customers, it's backyard comp, but good's good. So you might learn a different elevated way to do chicken and ribs. So we want to do more classes. We want to do more things. We've got to find the time to really dig in and do it. It's hard when I need to sell a grill or design a kitchen and I'm in a 3-hour class. You know what I mean? In fact, we did a hands-on brisket class, the first one at the Kansas City barbecue store 2 weeks ago, April 4th. And we love this hands-on, sponsored by Certified Angus Beef. We give a brisket with every class. It's $199, but you get a cab prime brisket that's $135 brisket. You get that, and we do hands-on trimming. We keep it at 15 people. We teach you how to trim it. We can teach you all the way to separating, and then you take it home and cook it, right? And we give you that whole run. We cook 3 briskets in class. We give you that whole run, and it's a huge, successful class. And we want to do some more of those, but we just did that out at Kansas, and it was a great success, and it's fun to do those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all got competition success, a growing business, now something that impacts a lot of people. But what does it mean to build something with y'all family, just eternal, just people that y'all see every day,
Priceless.
Been nice.
keeping it in the family?
I mean, right? It's just one of those where from everything from behind the scenes to the forefront of dad selling, to my cousin doing everything to all the packages everybody gets. That's him packaging all of that, doing it. And he's done quite a bit on that end of it, even just trying to put a little more care into it and figuring out how can I get stuff to people better, make sure that they're getting the product, there's not damages happening, and going from there to getting it out efficiently. But yeah, it's one that it can keep going. And I mean, if we keep doing what we're doing and the way we're doing it with customers and with everybody and with the team in general, and as that team grows, it ends up being a full family in general. It's that barbecue family that we always talk about too. So on that end, and that team becomes a part of it as well, but it can last. We're open to go another 20, 25 years here with it all. Maybe maybe see my daughters take over at some point on the back end, and it's what we wanted to do, and kind of build that legacy and provide certain quality to the community of Kansas City as well.
And I know it feels good to Greg to have his son working with him, and he's able to pass it down and not have to worry about somebody screwing it up or it ruin all the hard work that went inside of it. But to have somebody that's your own flesh and blood that's prepping, and they could take over when he might want to say, hey, me and your mom gonna go chill out and y'all run it, and he knows in good hands and not have to worry about it or call every few minutes and stuff like that and not miss a beat. And like you said, hopefully your kids will have an interest in it, and you can keep passing it down and have that type of legacy.
I mean, our kids are our legacy too, right? So for me, this is priceless, right? I could say this: when I was young, me and my dad didn't work together great. Love my dad to death, rest in peace. But we didn't work together great. I would have never thought. I would tell you, Devin probably never thought this, that when he was younger, as much as we'd butt heads on a football field or baseball field, you know, and coming home from a game, there's probably no way we ever thought we'd work together. But, you know, as we all get older and mature and we see life for what it is and how short it is, it's priceless. Priceless. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna tell you, I think it's probably an honor to work with your parent like that, because I see my dad in real life probably like 5 minutes of my whole life, and that's when I was age 21. But other than that, non-existent. But I know it's an honor, and now since I have kids, I was like, I'm never going to let that happen. As far as what was done to me or anything my wife been through, we out to change that narrative, and like we're gonna be there. And we're going to be involved, whether you want to do what I do or not do what I have to do. I'm here to support you and make you successful. But if they do go into the area that I do, that's fine. And I'm going to support them and hope they would love it and not feel forced to do it and stuff like that. And I feel that the way it looks like the way y'all interact is he's doing it because he love it. And it shows by the way the results are. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No problem. I got one more quick question. I'm gonna play a quick game and get y'all out of here. If y'all this question for each of y'all probably have different answers. If y'all had to cook a competition and create an all-star team, you and 3 other pitmasters, who are you picking and what meat is each of you cooking?
Good Lord.
You can pick anybody dead or alive.
Put us on the spot like that. All right. My mentor is Joe Pierce. Probably, you know, I love old Donnie Teal, man. He's a legend. I would love to do that with him. So I'll let Joe and Donnie fight out who's going to cook what. I'm going to sit back and just coach them. I'm going to lead them. Just kidding, boys. Fourth.
Right. And who's the fourth person?
Tuffy Stone. Who do I want to hang with? Tuffy Stone. So love that man. Love that man.
That was going to be one of them.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude to hang with. He's just a down-to-earth guy.
That was one of the first things Devin and I got to do together. We did the dirt road, the Ryan Murphy class, but Devin mentioned it. We went and took Tuffy's class in February 2020 out in Memphis. And that was a good experience. Devin got to travel down with me and go to that class and meet Tuffy and hang with Tuffy all weekend. And that was something we don't ever forget, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man, 3. I would have to say Tuffy for sure on that one for me. Probably Joe from Slaps. I know he knows his stuff, and a lot of what Dad and him taught me. I mean, that went into the success of what I have had in the backyard through doing Masters now. And then probably a buddy of mine, Jacob Watt, I'd bring him on board as well with Smoke This, Drink That. We kind of were in the backyard scene together and moved up to Masters around the same time together as well. We cooked together and had some success together as well. So throw a little new school in there with him. But yeah, definitely Tuffy, those 3 guys, and Joe and Jacob.
Okay. All right. And both of y'all can give an answer. This is the barbecue edition of Would You Rather. All right. Would you rather cook only with charcoal or only with wood for the rest of your life?
Only with wood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you get the flavor. Technically, we can make some charcoal out of
right.
that wood too.
Okay, that's a smart move. Would you rather cook on a stick
Stick.
burner or a pellet smoker the rest of your
Probably a
life?
stick.
Would you rather have unlimited free rubs or unlimited free
Oh, good
sauces?
Lord. Free sauce, I guess.
I was gonna say rub probably. I don't sauce a lot of stuff.
All right. Would you rather have your pit never run out of fuel or your cooler never run out of your favorite drink?
Pit and fuel.
Yeah,
Go
no.
ahead, the
I
magic
guess
cooler.
pit never run out of fuel, but
Right.
yeah.
Cooler never run out of drinks.
Right.
Smoking
exactly.
Magic episode,
Right.
we named that the magic cooler.
That's right.
All right. Would you rather cook on a $200 offset forever or a $10,000 rig you only use once?
I would never
Probably a
cook on
$10,000 rig, to be honest, just
Right.
because that $200 one eventually I'm just gonna get angry in about
Right.
6 months.
We kind of
it's
snobs.
rusting out
We
on
kind
me,
of
so I'm still
snobs
cooking
around
on
here.
it
I'm not
forever.
sure I ever cook on a $200 rig. So.
I know at least the one time over years it'll survive.
All right. Would you rather win a grand championship out of the Jack, Memphis of May, the Royal, or Houston Rodeo once?
Give
Or
me a
place
world
top 10 in
championship,
every
baby. I'll take
contest for life?
I'll
Jack
take a
or
world
Memphis of
championship.
May or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right. Would you rather barbecue outside in the rain or 100-degree heat?
Rain.
Yeah.
I've done the heat. I've done the 10 by 10 at a
All
115
right. And the
index, and I don't even want to finish the contest most of the time.
Yeah.
So I'll take the rain.
All right. And the last one is, would you rather give up barbecue for a year or give up sports for a year?
I could probably give up sports.
It's hard.
I don't know.
Right.
I'll be on the
But
fence.
But if I have to choose, yeah,
It's hard,
we're
man.
talking.
Barbecue's my
The
business.
wind blew me barely over the fence.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll pick barbecue too.
That's
Because I
right.
check ESPN every
Yep.
morning. That's it for us watching. All right, but y'all therapy session is over. I appreciate y'all coming on, and if y'all want to give y'all websites and promote anything, y'all can definitely do that.
Websites,
at this time.
KansasCityBarbecueStore.com. We've got anything and everything we ship throughout the world, not just the U.S., but throughout the world. AmericanFireBarbecue.com too as well. We are one in the same store. We have two different names right now, but we are one in the same corporation. So we appreciate everybody's support. And if we can help you or you need something from us, just reach out to Devin, myself, and we'll do our very best to help however we can.
All right, but like I said, I definitely appreciate your coming on because I know
Listen, I
y'all
was
probably got
trying-
people
I was-
wandering around the store
I
like,
was
"Where's
trying to
Devin?
sell a
Where's
grill
Bridget?"
before I had to walk in here late, and then I hope Beck got it sold, but if she didn't, I'm gonna have to have words with her. So we'll go do that. But, now we really appreciate you having us on, Tavis. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was
thank
really
you.
nice. It was really nice
Thank
meeting you a couple weeks ago down in Nashville, and you got a cool thing going. I really like it. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I definitely gonna keep reaching back to y'all in a couple months from now just to get updates and stuff like that. To keep y'all. All right, I definitely will be
Cool.
ordering.
Take care.
All right, y'all have a good day. Thank you for joining us for another therapy session. And remember, like, follow, and subscribe to help the barbecue therapy community. And also visit our website at www.barbecuetherapypodcast.com.